All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Eli Jones, and I want to introduce you to a new show that I'm starting up called HogTalk. Basically, we're just going to talk all about Arkansas sports. And in the first episode, I want to focus on Arkansas basketball. I do want to say that I will talk a little bit about baseball, but I'm mostly a basketball and football fan. I will tune into an Arkansas baseball game like every now and then. I did watch the World Series. I'm proud of our Hogs, man, for fighting until the end, up until they played Ole Miss. Even then, we were making some pretty good contact with the ball and stuff. Their pitcher was just too good. But anyways, I want to focus on Arkansas basketball for this episode because I feel like that's going to be the most successful area of our program coming up within the next few years. And so we all know last night was the NBA draft, or I mean, depending on when you're watching this, it might have been later. But we only had one player drafted, unfortunately. Just like last year, we had Jalen Williams drafted to the Oklahoma City Thunder at pick number 34. And it's actually kind of funny because the Thunder actually drafted someone named Jalen Williams with the 13th overall pick previously. And there's three other players that we had that declared for the draft. Well, actually four, but one of them declared for the NFL draft in Trey Wade. He's currently playing tight end for the Cardinals at like one of their camps or something. But Jade Note was actually like the one that most people expected to go like mid to late second round. Unfortunately, he didn't. And I think that's going to be a lack of his size and honestly lack of his efficiency because if you're small, like you got to be efficient if you want to play in the NBA. And while Note was a shooter, he was a very inefficient shooter. Still a great player, and I love to have him on the team. But I'm not surprised that he didn't get drafted. And then you have Stanley Amude, who I'm actually very surprised did not get drafted because he has a nice frame. He could shoot the ball, play defense. I mean, I honestly don't understand why he didn't get drafted late second round, but he did sign with. I want to say, did he sign with the Thunder as well? I could be wrong in that. I'll have to check up on that. But he agreed to sign to like a summer league roster or D League roster or something like that. And then Audis Tony, he's really just like a defender. He's like a 6'6" wing defender. Can't really create his own shot that well. And I can honestly understand why some NBA teams did not pick him up. But that's it basically for the draft. I would say that we had a pretty successful draft. I mean, next year it's going to be a lot more in the draft because we have all those prospects coming in. Nick Smith Jr. probably going to be a top five pick. Anthony Black, he's going to be in the mix there, and Jordan Walsh. I would say Jordan Walsh has the potential to be a late first, early second rounder next year. And really, depending on how he plays, he could honestly end up being a lottery pick. Basically, any of those three guys that I just mentioned could end up being a lottery pick. And then we have these 3 4 stars coming in Darian Ford, who was the Arkansas Gatorade Player of the Year. We have Barry Dunning, who was the Alabama Gatorade Player of the Year, and then Joseph Pinion, who is not as good as the other two, but he's still a very reliable shooter, can score the ball. And if you follow him on social media, he has a really nice personality. So that'll be good for our team. We just got a solid group of guys coming in next year, and I just can't wait. But there is some news. There's some more news regarding recruiting, and that is 6'2" point guard in the class of 2023's 4 stars. His name's Layden Blocker. He's set to make his decision tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and it's really between us, Auburn, Ole Miss, and OU, I believe. I think Alabama was kind of in the mix there, but I don't think he's very interested in going there. And he's set to commit tomorrow. He's basically just gotten all the crystal balls and stuff from all the professionals, like from like 247 Sports and On Three and all that. So I really do think that he will be our first commit for the class of 2023. And some other news regarding the class of 2023. We have 2 prospects that we're going after that have garnered some interest in us, and that's going to be Ron Holland. He's a 5 star out of Duncanville, and I'm pretty sure he's good friends with Anthony Black. Anthony Black committed to us. So he's already having one of the other top prospects from this year recruiting him pretty hard. And then we have Bay Fall. He's a center out of Denver, Colorado. He's a 5 star, and he's also pretty interested in us. And I do think that this is just going to become the new normal for Eric Musselman, just constantly having these 5 stars coming in, these high end 4 stars. And I think he's building something really special. And I mean, not even to mention transfer portal. We have like a top 10 transfer class this year. We built our team last year through the transfer portal. We built our team the year before. We got JD Note out of the transfer portal. So we've just been having very, very much success with the transfer portal. And now Eric Musselman, just out of left field, honestly, has started to kind of develop a recruiting empire here at Arkansas. and I'm honestly super excited to see what is to come. But I do think my expectations for next year, I think it's really easy to always like expect, okay, we got all these 5-star recruits. We're like going to be national championship contenders. And I do think that we will be contenders, but you have to look at it like it is March Madness. And in March Madness, like you are not guaranteed to do anything, honestly. Like Duke didn't do anything. Like basically all the teams that had like some of the top prospects, the top prospects out of high school, top freshmen, they didn't really do that well, except for Duke. They made the Final Four, but they didn't win the championship. And they had Paolo Banchero. They had 5 NBA draft picks this year. And really, the key to winning a national title in college basketball is veteran play and leadership. And Arkansas, unfortunately, is kind of lacking in that department. But I do believe in our guys. We're just going to go out there and produce every night. And I really do believe in Eric Musselman, man. Last year, we lost to Hofstra. We lost our first 3 SEC games. And honestly, I was really bummed. Like, I mean, I thought that we weren't even going to make the tournament at that point. But I was wrong, thankfully, and we ended up making the tournament, the Elite Eight, for back-to-back years. So Arkansas is only going up from here, and I'm so excited to see what we do next year. I think it'll be some pretty big things. Now, I do think that Arkansas is notorious for not winning the SEC tournament. I think the only time we won the SEC tournament was in 2000 against, I don't even know, but we lost to Miami in the second round, I think, of the NCAA tournament. And it's just going to be hard. Tournaments are difficult because all it takes is just one bad game and you can be out. So, I would expect us to definitely be a top three, top two, maybe even the best team in the SEC this year. But I do recommend that you don't get your hopes up because, nobody should be expecting a national title, especially with Duke. They have 4 or 5 stars coming in. I think 1, 2, or 3 different 4 stars. They definitely have a better recruiting class than we do. But we're not too far behind. And also, SEC play is getting a lot more intense. Alabama, they have a really good recruiting class. Kentucky, they have a very good recruiting class. They have some great returning veterans. They have, let's see, who do they have? They have Jacob Toppin returning, obviously, Oscar Sheboy, the Naismith Player of the Year, returning. So they're going to have all those badass freshmen on top of the Naismith Player of the Year and some other guys. Um, and I think that Severe Wheeler is actually coming back too. I know Ty Ty Washington left at the draft. He was drafted to my Rockets, so that's good. He's a solid player, and I'm interested to see what he'll do in the NBA. But Coach Calipari, he's got a thing for creating NBA talent, and Eric Musselman, I think, is just right behind him in line in terms of like next great SEC coaches. I mean, he already is, in my opinion, the best or second best. He's definitely a top 3 coach in the SEC currently in terms of recruiting, in terms of his ability to win games, in terms of his energy. He can just do everything, and I'm so thankful that we hired him. That was honestly like one of the best hires in any sport that I've ever seen. Like I know that's biased or whatever, but Eric Musselman is that guy. And honestly, I liked the pickup, the hire from the beginning. But man, like over the past couple of years, it's been crazy. I mean, he has accomplished so much. Let's see. I know Mike Anderson recruited them, but he basically developed Mason Jones and Isaiah Joe to be in the NBA draft, and then he took Moses Moody. He recruited him. He went to one of the top high schools in the nation, Montbert Academy, and he turned him into a lottery pick. And he just won a championship with the Warriors. Although he didn't get much playing time, he still won a championship. And then this year, he turned J.D. Note, a random basketball player out of Jacksonville, into a star. And I hope he can find his way into an NBA roster, whether that be through Summer League or G League or whatever. And then he turned Jalen Williams, who was just a 4 star coming out of Fort Smith, I believe. And he turned him into an NBA draft pick at number 34, which is very, very solid. And he's just done some very special things with each and every one of our players. And I sure as hell believe that he can turn Nick Smith Jr. into a number 1 overall pick. I think that he can turn Jordan Walsh into a lottery pick, Anthony Black into a lottery pick. And I wouldn't even be surprised to see guys like Darian Ford or Barry Dunning ending up going in the first round. Or I'm really talking about Darian Ford. Darian Ford he's amazed me with his play. He is a 4 star, but he's got really good size, good strength, and he is just a very versatile player. And I think our team this year, I think our roster is perfectly built. You know, we got the guards, we have the 5-star guards, but then we also got some big men from the transfer portal that are going to be good, like Jalen Graham out of Arizona State. He can dunk the ball well. And I think that he's going to fit in really well to this team. But I'm just super excited to see what direction Eric Musselman can lead this team to. And I mean, we're already trending upwards. I think the next stop is a Final Four or national championship. I really do. Within the next 5 years, I believe we can win a national championship. And you know, I told you not to get your hopes up, but you know, I'm certainly excited for the SEC tournament for March Madness, and I do believe that we can do great things. But thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. If you made it this far, I'm very grateful. And I should have at least a couple of episodes up every week, or maybe just like one episode a week. I'll see. But this is Hog Talk, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.